everybody. I'm gonna be honest, I just recorded this video once already, and I got a little bit too realistic and a little too real. I'll talk about what I talked about in a different video, I think, for a different time. And yeah, it's something I want to save for a proper video and be more open about. But today we're going to be using the JAK OUTLAW 277 kit, and I did just do 2 games with it, so I'm hoping that my internet will hold up for another 2 or 1 or 2 games. And yeah, so there's a couple things about this weapon that we're going to be talking about. We'll talking about more in game, but I do want to briefly touch on real quick to start. One, if you're new here, subscribe. I upload every single day in a variety of different games: Call of Duty, Destiny, Fortnite, Splatoon, Pokemon, a bunch of Let's Play stuff like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Soma, expect some other series like Sekiro, Elden Ring, Warhammer 40k, Bolt Gun, Dead Space, and more to come in the coming days. But I'm not playing Hardpoint on the State. I'm sorry, but no. But I want to apologize again. I know I brought it up in the Splatoon video on Monday. I want to apologize again for the missing, not only technically forgetting to upload Gears on Wednesday and it going up on Thursday, but missing uploads on Friday and Saturday because of just general, I'm not going to say idiocy, but general problems with not general anything else, but like the sort of thing where it's, I feel bad that I forgot to upload. I wanted to make a dedication to myself that I was going to upload every single day 365 days a year, and I can't do that anymore. Or 366 days a year because it's a leap year. You get the point. I missed 2 uploads already, and I feel awful that I did that. And it was really because I decided to fix an internet problem that is just not always a good idea to try and fix through this company that makes that supplies you internet, because they're going to find a way to leech money out of you. But you get the idea. It's one of those things where I've felt awful doing that, because on one hand, I understand that for some people YouTube is escapism, and it is for me. I grew up watching YouTubers that, one, they either don't upload anymore or are problematic, or I don't agree with their content anymore because I think it's very destructive towards the community and the channel they built up, or I watch content that makes me happy. Nowadays I watch content from creators that I like. So for example of this, back in the day when I was a little kid, I used to watch creators like Syndicate Project. I used to watch Sky's Minecraft. I watch Airs. I watch Captain Sparkles, and not to say any of those other ones other than Sky are problematic. It's just literally Sky. But you get the idea. It's like I used to watch all of these creators that now are either not uploading anymore, are feeling burnt out, are making content that is destructive towards their community and the communities they built up, or they're just not uploading at all because they have life outside YouTube now. And those people I still have some respect for, even though I don't necessarily watch them anymore, because they are part of my childhood. Yeah, they aren't necessarily, I'm not going to respect them in the same way of like, oh, I'm going to support you through and through even though you're an abusive person type thing. But I'm willing to say that I enjoyed your content while it lasted, and I enjoyed it when I thought you were a better person. For example, with Adam, or with other creators under that same umbrella. And I don't want to get into that whole debate of like, oh, cancel culture is stupid and shouldn't exist or whatever. It's not cancel culture, it's holding people accountable for their actions. It's different. I'm not going to get into it. Doesn't matter. I felt awful missing those 2 days because I wasn't able to do part of my escapism, which is play video games and upload YouTube videos. And I was just getting mentally... I was already having a very bad mental... I'm having still very bad mental days because of just stuff that I've been told that I can do to make myself feel better, and I'm stressed about what the repercussions of that is. I'll get into that momentarily, probably the next game, because this match has ended very quickly. Probably because the enemy team is camping really, really bad, and our team can't seem to get a grasp on them camping. But, on. Alright, that's casual, just quad. It's fine. But you kind of get the idea. It's like, I am the type of person who wants to just be there for people and offer people the escape that they need, because life sucks. It just does. But I felt awful missing those days. And all I want to do now is just be able to upload and just do whatever I want. That's what I'm going to do. With these internet problems, I'm actually knocking on wood. I haven't had any issues today. So either it's completely gone and subsided, or I'm just waiting for it to happen. I really want to go into game chat right now, so I'm going to mute the capture card to make sure nothing offensive is being said. Yeah, there was a lot of bad in there. Anyway, but to kind of go into talk more about why I felt so bad is outside of the fact that I understand there's escapism in a lot of people, especially for me. I was given the news that I could easily start a treatment for my gender dysphoria, because if you don't know and you're new here, I am transgender. I was assigned male at birth, and I was I ended up finding out through educating myself, because I was an awful person when I was a teenager and was very mean to people like myself, and then decided to educate myself on these topics without being mean, with unbiased sort of anything, and just sort of doing it for the sake of trying to become a better person, and was then able to become an ally for them, and then ended up asking myself the same questions that they all asked themselves during the pandemic, and was able to come to realization that I myself am under that umbrella as well. But the main thing is I could easily undergo hormone replacement therapy. And it's something I've been debating on doing, and the only reason why I haven't done it was because of one simple fact of it being my mom. And for those of you who don't know, I still live with my mother, not because of like any form of dependency. Well, it is a form of dependency. I do depend on her still, but it's also because I'm afraid of moving out and losing her, because she's the only family I have that I can live with safely. Because while I love my father and I've been able to reconnect with him and be able to have him sort of back in my life, living down with him in Florida is not necessarily on the cards right now. And it is one of those things where I would much prefer to live with my mother because I live in a state that's very protective over the rights of people like me, as well as in general. Um, I feel a lot safer. Where I live is home. You know, it's like it's my childhood home. Not literally, but it's like this area that I live in is my childhood home, and I don't want to leave that. Um, but I want to be respectful to her because of the fact of she doesn't fully understand what I am going through and what I'm feeling, but she is not transphobic or like against it, if that makes sense. She can sometimes say things she doesn't mean, but in terms of actually understanding it, she just doesn't understand it. My mom's boyfriend, on the other hand, is a different story. But that has nothing to do with him. It's fine. But I am very much wanting to do it not because I want to disrespect my mom and anything like that, but I want to be happy. I want to be able to be myself and not worry about this feeling of... I want to be able to be happy and be able to express myself how I want to express myself and not feel ridiculed for it by my own family. And obviously, to do that, I would either need to move out or go against my mom, like go against my mother. And I want to do it because it makes me happy. And I'm not afraid to admit that I'm willing that if I get kicked out because of this, it would be worth it. Not because of the fact that I would finally be able to be moving out of my mom's place, but because I could be who I want to be. I know I'm getting a little realistic here and very kind of down, but it's like I want people to know that if you're in a situation worse than me, where you can't even be out to your family, or whatever, that it gets worse before it gets better. It can only get worse before it gets better. And I understand that seems kind of a dreary thing to say, but like, as long as you're positive and you're happy and you're doing what you can to express yourself on your own without them knowing, because you know what they're like, you'll either find the courage to tell them, or you'll find the courage to be able to move out and then tell them off and tell them that you don't want them in your life anymore. I want my mom and my dad to be in my life in some way, even after I move out. Whether that's just staying in contact with them, or them sending me money for my birthday, or anything like that. But if it's one of those things where if they can't physically be there for me because of the fact that they're disgusted by who I want to be, then I'm okay with telling them that if you don't want who I am, then I'm sorry, but I can't, then we can't be talking again anymore. I know that sounds very awful to say to my parent, but it's like, if my parent is what's causing me the most grief and stress, then I should have the right to be able to tell them that I want to distance myself from you. But I also don't, because I love my mother. I love my dad. Which is something I never thought I'd hear myself say, given my past with my father up until now. But I'm willing to say that I want to do this for me. Not because of this whole, like, wanting to be, like, to be basically blunt about this whole stupid thing, because I know a lot of people in the comments are gonna be like, oh, you're just confused, and just saying other random crap that I've heard hundreds of times and with no evidence to back it up. You don't understand what it's like to basically be living in something you're not, that makes you feel disgusted. Best way I can imagine is, imagine you're cleaning dishes and you physically touch wet food, or something like that. That's sort of what I'm experiencing. That's sort of like, I feel gross about this. I feel this feeling of just uncomfortable disgust. An even better way of putting it, and I saw it on a recent video from a YouTuber that I just started watching. The best way of describing it is imagine this idea of living, but not being of living as yourself, but then being told you're someone else every single time you breathe or you say something. Like, that's not who you are. You're somebody else. That's what it feels like when you're trans or when you're whatever. And it's just this whole thing of like, if you can't open your eyes to that, then I'm sorry, but you're a lost cause, and you're what's wrong with this world. It's not us, it's you. You are the problem, not us. And you obsessing over this whole idea of like people like trans women be going into women's sports to get an unfair advantage, or going into the bathroom so they can, is just not the case. It's just not. And I'm gonna get either my video suppressed or whatever for using the M word there, but listen, that's how it is. And maybe I'll bleep it, who knows. I'll try to remember to bleep it, but you get the idea. Also, the internet thing is happening again. Fun! Good time for this to happen. Because it means I can end, and I can go play something else. Oh, actually, no, it seems to be subsiding. Might have just been a lag. Burst of lag. Regardless, it's one of those things where we just want to exist as is. That's all we want to do. And I want to start HRTV, not because I want to be... because I want to be happy, not because, oh, it's this cool trendy thing and I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. No, I want to do it because it's going to make me fucking happy. It's going to make me not feel like I'm... The best way I'm going to describe it is, imagine, you know when that feeling when you get sunburned enough and your skin starts peeling off? That sort of feeling of the skin peeling off is kind of what it's like to finally feel like you're being yourself. Is that satisfying feeling of scratching an itch, and that itch is finally being scratched, and you are getting satisfaction from scratching, and it stops and goes away. That's what it sort of feels like. The feeling of dysphoria is scratching it and it getting either worse or not going away at all. That's what dysphoria is. Yeah, you can kind of get an idea of the internet problem now. It's kicking in. Fun. I'll have to restart the internet before I play anything else multiplayer. It's fine. Which is weird, because I can play Destiny fine, but the COD is like where it's the most problem. And to show you, because I think this won't show anything important, you can see there, you can see my ping is normal. So, but yeah, you get the idea. I just want to be who I want to be, and I feel constantly ridiculed for stuff like just existing and wanting my name to be, wanting to be called Chloe, and wanting to just be my fucking self. You know, it's like, I shouldn't be ridiculed for wanting to be myself. I'm always told, like, whenever you want to talk to somebody you have a crush on, just be yourself. Oh, blah, 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 be yourself. Well, what happens when being yourself is the cause for being ridiculed and for being bullied and for being treated like subhuman garbage, you know? So that's why I, at least for the longest time, would pretend that, would basically say that, oh, being yourself isn't the solution. What are you talking about? Being yourself isn't the solution. That's just part of the problem. You get the idea. I'm going on and on about this, and it's kind of just going in circles, but I'm planning on starting that soon. So as I've already said, that I plan on trying to better myself for this, so the immediate thing that would stuff's gonna change. I know stuff's gonna change. And I want to do this not because of it's being trendy. I want to do it because it's going to make me happy, and I'm going to be more comfortable with myself more than ever, and I'm going to want to just exist as is. And all I gotta say is, just after everything is, again, if you're new, subscribe first of all, and if you're thinking about leaving a hateful comment about, like, because you disagree with it, I'm gonna just straight up tell you don't bother. I'm gonna delete the comment. But also think about to yourself for 1 minute. Think to yourself for 1 minute. What is you saying that going to accomplish? Outside of the fact that even though I'm going to be deleting the comment, what are you accomplishing by saying something mean to me? What do you have to gain by saying that? Right? What do you have to gain? Because if you're just saying it because you're insecure about something, then you should get your priorities fixed there, bud. But if you're saying it because you don't understand, let us tell you what it means to us as LGBT people. Let us explain to you why we feel this way. We're willing to tell you if you just sit down and listen. It's not hard to just sit down and listen. Either way, I thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to go ahead and record another video. If you haven't already, subscribe. I upload every single day, like I said. And if you want to stick around for my journey, follow me over on social media down in the description below. Twitter, Instagram, Threads, technically too. I do plan on trying to post to Tumblr occasionally. Maybe not anything related to videos, but just kind of posting stuff. Or if you want to, like, I don't know. I don't use Tumblr that often. I barely use it, but regardless, I'll see you guys next time. Everybody, stay safe.